Hello, my name is Marcus. And I'm Alex Wellington, the one who directed and created the channel, which is basically the same name as mine's, but pretty simple. So today, Alex and we came here to have a conversation about upcoming events for our channel. So we came up with some solutions why there are a lot of people who really think who come interested in the channel just because we did a lot of fan fictions lately. I mean, like literally a lot of fan fictions. I mean, yes, this comes obviously been clear because every time we did the fan fictions, it seems like we're making them a lot of more progress with every single time. Well, Alex, it seems a little more common. And yet people are adored with our channel just because we made fan fiction videos, like literally. And we talk about some fan fiction stories about what's going on and what the versions should be supposed to be good, sometimes lighted or dark. Yeah, well, I could agree with it, but sometimes I just really think that I should give us some very info with it, like some point, which is basically become a little more understanding products, but yet it seems like, how do you ever expect it to judge about the appearance, but yet it seems very common? Well, buddy, it's just that actually, Marcus, I think I got some things in mind, but it's kind of a little bit alarming. I mean, how many people will go introduced with the fan fictions, and yet it seems like every single comment with the little detail, and yet it seems like very narrowest of the part of a story that made me feel like, how does everybody will go interested with this storylines that we ever came up in mind? Oh yeah, forgot to mention this is from Digimon. Gabumon, which is from Digimon. So the only reason why he's here because he's also the one who's helped out the channel sometimes. And yet we basically just make the channels one by one. Some videos, who knows what they think they could be or what it's about, We did good channels so far. Especially the time we basically made a lot of fan fictions of our own versions. Especially the one where we basically made about the lockdown version 2. One with the parasite infections and something about when when Chase basically discovered the truth about you know what. The parasite infections. So apparently, so far we did chapter 3. Now we're gonna go to chapter 4. I mean, I didn't read the fan fiction of the lockdown version 2. I mean, I thought you did, but I mean, did you ever read it? I mean, it's like a very good common book. I mean, soon later, I bet they made a fan fiction like that so much. Very good quality, and yet it seems like very good part of it, you know? Like you said, you haven't seen the ending and see what happened to them, but you know, I'm just saying. Actually, I did say that I did read the fan fiction. But apparently, why does people want? I mean, like, we made fan fictions in a day or weeks or months, you know? Sometimes we took a while just to, you know, give it informations, and yet it seems like every single fan fictions we ever done, we ever read, and yet it seems like we made a good progress so far. But now I had a feeling that I'm not sure what fan fictions made us interesting. That's the thing too. I've been getting to ask the same question too. What fan fiction do you think that make us interesting? Well, sometimes we didn't read fan fictions. We read something that's on the internet, like books. Have y'all ever read books? I mean, I only one who read books, but I bet Gabumon didn't read some books lately. Well, I did one time. The one with the Christmas Carol. The one that's been directed by Charles Dickens. It was directed by Charles Dickens. He's the one who made the story called Christmas Carol. And I know it made a dark version, but we made a version 2 of ourselves. But yet, I don't know, people just give us like a less views that they saw. I think they just make them feel like, I don't think the fan fiction might be that kind of interesting, because even though the Christmas Carol, it's like most common Christmas part of the story, but even though the story of the A Christmas Carol might take in something much more sap, but yet it seems like the only reason why nobody ever just like go ahead and talk about what could have been on the fan fiction. But sometimes it's just hard to explain. But yet it seems like every single fan fiction that we ever made so far, and yet it seems part of the thing that started to make us interesting. Like, literally. I mean, the only reason why people just go ahead and read some other stories, because according to the other people who really got interested with the Paw Patrol fan fiction called Marshall's Gone Missing, along with the Separate Ways fan fiction. But we never get to the rest of the part of a fan fiction of Chase's Separate Ways. But apparently though, we've been going on to different chapters on the different fan fiction. I mean, doesn't Marshall Gone Missing is like a similarity to what it says called Pup Save a Friend, you know? Isn't like a longer version of it? I think so. Might have been a longer version, but more dark. And yet with tragic and yet sad moments, which just happens sometimes. I mean, there are a lot of the fan fiction that has to deal with that kind of problems. I mean, literally. So apparently though, we've been thinking of an idea. Actually, I thought of an idea. We should go ahead and try to update our channel into something more different. I would say like we read fan fiction stories a lot lately, and we never even get to the part where we think we should just go ahead and try to read some books. So we've been thinking like, why can't we just read some books that's online and then we basically directed it? You know, pretty simple. I mean, it might be sounds not bad of an idea, but I think we should just give it a good reminder about how it feels whenever we think of it might be interesting. So I would say, I think we should go ahead and did a new development of a story, and yeah, we'll see how much the story will take us in. And yet, I think we should go ahead and directed some books that made us interesting, and especially Especially the one where you got that book that we had in the bookstore. Alright. And if in case you did not know, sometimes I went to Corpus Christi and went to this bookstore and I found this interesting book that I think you might want to read it. Or something make you interesting in mind. I will read this book on the internet so that you can see it and what it's really going to be about. So, according to this detailed, we got a little problem with the fan fiction that we never done like a while. Luann's Gone Too Far from Loud House. I mean, I have a question in mind. What did Space Voyager really thinks that someone like him really thought of an idea trying to take down the story? Actually, though, I've been thinking of the same thing too. What did Space Voyager really did deleted the fan fiction that he made? I mean, he's the only one who directed the story, Luann's Gone Too Far. I mean, is there like drama relations between him? I mean, how did he delete all of his book, his fan fiction story, along with the his channel? I mean, he did the fan fiction of the Kim Impossible. So we thought of an idea if we can do the same thing with the new fan fiction that we came up in mind, called Mario and Luigi: The Dark Future. I mean, I don't think it might work, because every time I did on the internet, it's gone. I can't find it anywhere. I try to look up on the fanfiction website and then it's gone. I don't know why it's missing. By the time I went to YouTube and I discovered that he having some sort of a problems, thanks to Lion Queen or the Shadows of a Queen or whatever her name is. There's actually this Shadow Queens, who basically call herself the Shadow Lions, taking similarity to the Shadow Reader, who becomes the Eternal Ferret, and the Shadow of a Lion Queen or whatever she called herself. I mean, she did read the fanfiction Luann's Gone Too Far along with Kim Possible 1, 2, but apparently though we wanted like an actual website so that way we can read it for ourselves. Yeah, but I can't just like copy and paste of someone reading the story. I will get copyright strike because of that. So we've been decided to just leave the fanfiction alone from now on. If this thing goes over and be back to normal, or I don't know, it might be soon. But who knows? Space Voyagers always have like big dramas of himself. And he never told us why he did what he did. This is like incompletely bullshit. I mean, we did so far with the chapters of the new fan fiction that is based on a game called Poppy Playtime. I mean, we did good so far. I mean, the part is starting to get interesting about when David basically discovered the plush doll that looks like a symbolette of a catnap. But we may never know what catnap can do and how is it gonna do. So that way the story might get interesting. I mean, who knows? Thanks to the stuff that's on the internet, now I basically just show it all to the pictures. I mean, that's all true. I mean, apparently though, we may never know when are we going to continue on with Luann's Gone Too Far. But I think we just stop at chapter 12 because we're this close to finishing. And now we can't. The only way we can finish the chapters is by reading it and copy the voicing so that way we can talk like that. But we can't do that because we're afraid that we're gonna get copyright strike because of that. I mean, totally. So we leave the fanfiction alone. We decided to go with something else. I guess it's best to assume that we just go ahead and read the other books, read some other book stories, along with the other fanfictions that we've been reading so far. I could agree. So, yeah. At least you can understand how it is now. But We tried our best. So that's the huge update that we came up in our minds to talk about what we can do for our fiction and our channel, everything. So upcoming 2025, we're gonna read fan fictions and some books that's on the internet. So be prepared for the future of our own channel. Log out.
It's caught in the crossfire.